What is good? What is good, my good YouTube people, man? We're back for another Chainsaw Man chapter. 2 weeks, 2 weeks. We're gonna keep on going because another chapter has to be in another 2 weeks. But beyond that, and I'm not even gonna lie, I've kind of got desensitized to it. It's a 2 week series now. But beyond that, as I was saying, this chapter was a great chapter. Another great chapter. And ironically enough, another Naita chapter. I'm really liking this chapter because this chapter was very crucial. It was small, it was a small moment, but I like this chapter because we actually got to see a point in Naita before Denji. We got to see her mindset before she got to meet Denji and how her way of thinking was. And it was interesting because Naita's mindset was actually interesting because like she was, I would say, more demon-esque than she actually was. At least I felt more analytical towards like her situation and everything around her. Well, before she's more of a kid, still demon-esque, but it was like more like everything needed to have a purpose for her to even work. Like, why did she do this? Why did I eat? Because I needed nutrients. Now if you ask her why she would eat, she said because it tastes good. And I like that. I like that little space. It's a small character development thing, but like, you know, it shows that where she was to where she is now. That even goes to show to a point like where she asks herself, what is her purpose? I'm sorry, as a kid, I never want to ask that. I knew what I wanted to was just have fun. And I really did like this because she is a demon. And she has all these different feelings for this one person, yet she can't explain it. So she did what any demon moves. She used her powers of memory manipulation, went into Denji's mind, and even found what I actually don't know, but I would say essence of Makina within Denji, or some form of Makina. Maybe her mind powers or something she may have did to Denji's mind when she had him under her control back in chapter 82 to 83 onward. I honestly don't know, but it was a message left by Makina, or either her feelings or something she had left there, in which she made a plan to destroy Denji's life so she can get Paichida. And Naita tried to do the same thing, but throughout her experience with Denji, she herself became closer to Denji. And gosh, I love this, man. Like I said, I've said it many times before. I love it. And like, there's multiple ways you kind of can interpret this chapter, because honestly, this chapter may be a Naita's chapter, but in all honesty, this chapter was brought to you thanks to Makina. A lot of this goes all the way back to Makina, because like there's many ways you can interpret Naita's message or how her past self. You can interpret because I think it might have been like fragments of Makina's manipulation in his mind, or this could be Naita's imitating Makina's actions to try to become her old self so she can understand herself. That's most likely possible. And the latter one is a good example because it shows that Naita is different from Makina, as in Naita hasn't been, I want to say, corrupted by the world. Makina is the result of, I want to say, bad influences. And Naita is the result of, I would say, good influence. At least the Denji influence. Yeah, I like that better. Makina is the result of no Denji influence, and Naito is the result of Denji influence. So, hey, make sure your kids watch Denji when they're growing up, or they might become a terrorist. But yeah, and I truly feel that way. Even like the little kid Denji, which I'm calling Shadow Denji, that there is Makina's influence. The way Makina used and manipulated him, like these actually either might be Makina's settlements left in Denji's memory, or to a certain degree like the feelings of hurt that Denji never truly got over because of Makina. Because let's not forget, Makina manipulated him in by far the most harshest way possible. She was good. Makina was a really good feeling because she did a lot to hurt Denji and she did a lot to hurt Denji, created a whole thing where he can build his max happiness, manipulated all to go to crumble and fail, and made him feel like it was all his fault. Everything she made it shifted to his fault. His father's death, which he even which she admitted was self-defense. She made it seem like he did it because he had to kill his dad, and she herself even said it was self-defense. Power, she's the one that killed Power, but Denji's the one that opened the door, the thing she made sure he remembered. Even Aki, she's the one that gave Aki the gun devil contract and made him this way. She forced him into it when she made a contract with him. And Denji, as a result, had to kill him because there's no other choice but blame Denji for not having more intelligence on the subject matter and being the only outcome he has. And to be honest, she couldn't help him. There was no one else. Everything was chaos, and this was only outcome Denji could have had. There was no saving Aki. But she made it all his fault, even though she did all the terrible things. And Denji felt that. He even, like, the mental state of his small self, even agreed with her. And it was crazy. And through this, she was able to truly make him give up on life, making him becoming Black Chainsaw Man. And like I said, I kind of have two readings on this. It's either like, these are actually the essence of Makima, because I do feel like she does have memory manipulation, and it's possible that she could manipulate his brain and still be there, like in some way, shape, or form. Or it could just be like the effect she has on him, and him not fully healing because of all the effects she has had on him. I only feel like it's maybe essence because of her memory powers, and the way Naita kind of interpret the text, I didn't like how it looked. Like, it was just like black text that just like it was telling her something. I don't feel like she was imitating. I feel like she was getting guidance. But it could be most likely, the most likely form is it most likely was just imitation, not guidance. This is just my conspiracy brain, like, thinking up these two things, because I kind of do want Makina to be back in the series, a little bit. I was a fan, but yeah. And it's only because of how these black texts look that I'm only doing this, and the shadow little kid Denji. It all actually could just be the effects of Makina's memory and her trauma on Denji, and it could just be Naita imitating her old self to become that person, so she can find out her purpose of who she is. But it's just how this text looks to me, and it just feels like instructions, and I feel like it's not. It feels like instruction and not imitation. I'm sorry, I'm looping myself, and that's the only reason I have this second theory. Right, it's most likely the former, in which she's just imitation, and this is just the trauma of Makina played on Denji's memory. And not gonna lie, guys, Burn, it's getting on my nerves. I honestly can't with this dude, man. I was getting mad. Like, I don't even see him as a villain no more. I literally just see him like a thorn in my side. Like, he's literally just there to cause chaos and ruin all happiness and joy that's left in this world. It really does feel like Baron served no purpose, just to make us mad at this point. And it now leads me to the question: is Naita going to die? And I don't think so. Not yet, at least. No. Like, I finally figure out why I have trouble believing that the dogs have died, which I'm still hesitant to believe in. Like, most likely so, but I still have a little doubt. And it's because throughout the entirety of Chainsaw Man, when Tatsuzi kills a character, he doesn't do it off screen. This is not JJK, where one of the epic fights of the entire century that had so many memes ended with an off-screen fight. No, I'm a little sour about that. But back to Chainsaw Man, yeah, he never does these kills off screen. With Power, with Aki, with even some of the newer characters like Yuko. These characters, we all saw them die, and we saw how they die, or at least the display of their body. The only character that was actually off screen, arguably, would you have to say, is Makina, and that was only for the surprise of Denji eating her. But Denji was a good cook. Like that those meals he was making to Maki when he had her chopped up in bunches and different meals, not gonna lie, those are looking pretty good, man. I would have ate Miss Maki before, but hey, at least she gets some more flavor to it. But I kind of want to cover this small piece in which Denji's little self talked to him, in which he said, "You never had a family. You were always drawn to that word, but you threw that away when you chose Chainsaw Man." And I'm not gonna lie, I told you guys. I'm telling you this point of me being vindicated of when Denji pulled the spinal cord, pulled the cord, not pulled the cord. That was him accepting all the side effects of it happening. Naruto maybe being in danger, but he wanted to be Chainsaw Man and put his want of Chainsaw Man over Naruto's safety. And like I said, he had no choice behind it, but I still think he chose that because he's not gonna give up being Chainsaw Man after he pulled the cord and everything went right. He might give it up if he has to save Naruto now, but at the time when he was thinking about it, I think he was being very selfish and he just wanted to be Chainsaw Man, and he's gonna be Chainsaw Man forever, even if that meant Naruto and him couldn't be together. But hey, I just want to say that was Shadow Denji vindicating me a little bit. But that's what I think of this chapter, man. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please leave a like, comment. It's been B3, and stay animated.
Chainsaw.